right? Like we all see, the term diversity, and there's all kinds of things attached to it. It comes with a ton of baggage because of the way that the left uses it, because of what the term diversity means according to scholars, and the way that the discrepancy in the definition versus the way that the left tends to apply it. And so there's all that stuff attached to it, right? But if you're just a normal guy that goes to work and, writes a song, the idea of we should have a diverse country is something that you, especially like his age, that's something that everybody kind of grew up with. The idea that everybody comes to America, or the people that come to America, everyone can be American. You come here and it's the melting pot and blah, blah, blah. That's something that has been an integral part of the United States' story, for the vast majority of our history. And so I think that it was just a situation of he is kind of a normie, and people are applying a lot of extremely online context to a guy that is totally unfamiliar with it.
I love it. You know why? He's a normie.
Yeah.
He said very normie things. Fat cats in Washington, they're bad. Fat people on welfare are exploiting our taxes. Yep. And the left attacked him and the right cheered for him. That says a whole lot about what these factions are.
Yep.
The Democrats are the party of the wealthy elites, and they were offended by what he said.
Yeah.
And the right is a disparate group of people of varying ideologies, for the most part, that are anti-establishment, anti-woke, and generally agree to disagree. I mean, when we do this show, the left calls it right-wing, despite the fact we have people of all different political backgrounds having conversations. So this guy represents just a regular dude. He lives in a trailer. He's down south in Virginia. I love his videos. He's got one where he's in front of a river and he's just playing the song Ain't Got a Dollar. And I'm like, and the train's going by and he's got to wait for the train.
That's super cool.
He's just a regular dude who wrote this song that had some good lyrics. I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just a minor on an island somewhere. I mean, like, he kind of just hit the nail on the head with the hammer with a lot of the stuff. And, I like folk. So for me, it's easy.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of people, when you watch him perform and you see the people in the audience like nodding along to it, he's speaking to just regular people.
Right. That's the thing I don't understand is why people are getting mad at him when he's like, they're like, oh, most people are pretty, middle of the road. Most people think like pretty center of the way ideas, and everyone's mad at him not everyone, but some people are mad at him on the right, like we've just seen here, and people on the left are mad at him. It's like, this is what most people think. Like, you guys should all be championing him because this is what most people think. He's the American.
And I'm not so sure that he is, it's funny they call him Anthony, even though his name is Chris, was it Lunsford or something?
Yeah.
Is it Lunsford?
Chris Anthony Lunsford is his name.
They call him Anthony because Oliver Anthony is his stage performance name or whatever.
Yeah, his grandfather.
But I got to tell you, I don't think he's super politically active. He says he's a middle of the road kind of guy, but he's also the kind of guy that was activated by Donald Trump. Mm-hmm. A regular guy who's just like, you know what, man, let the Molotov cocktail bowl in the China shop go.
Oh, I'd love to talk to him about Donald Trump.
In 2016, when I went to all of Trump's campaign rallies, were exactly like this guy.
Yeah.
They told me that they were not Republicans. They hated Republicans. They were not conservative, but they hated the politicians. They hated the political establishment, and they just wanted Trump to do something.
Dude, Trump gave people fire to like break up the deep state. He was so excited about draining the swamp, and it didn't happen. He put John Bolton in, and he got all these weirdos involved and didn't do it because he didn't know how, or he believed the liars. Like he believed but he did light a fire under people's ass. Like he woke people up that there was an administrative state. I think most of the United States people didn't even realize that we were being run by bureaucrats at the time. So I will give him that. And maybe, if he woke Oliver up, that's a huge deal.
Whenever Trump
I don't think he woke up Oliver individually. I'm saying it's people like him that are considered the forgotten demographic when it comes to voting.
Mm-hmm. Whenever Trump says, they're not coming after me, they're coming after, the people who support me, the people who sort of are behind me. I think this whole story is sort of an example of that. You just detailed how
100%.
his rise really is an entire FU, not just to like the music industry, but just to the establishment as a whole, what he sings about, who he is just as a person. So it's like they have to character assassinate him. I don't know if you guys saw, but they had pulled up some old like YouTube videos that he had liked trying to allege that he was some crazy conspiracy theorist. So I think this just goes to show how it's like, must destroy Oliver Anthony because he represents everything that we oppose. And I think it goes back to what we were talking about earlier. They love to artificially create all these divisions, whether it's the race, the gender, the sex. I'm sure I don't have to enumerate all those for the people who watch this show. But I think the biggest lie in terms of division that we've been sold really is Republican and Democrat, because I think that orientation of the world is just is so wrong, because it's people like Oliver Anthony, and it's basically the people who listen to Oliver Anthony's music and feel like they have a voice in what he's singing about, and the people who listen to his music and are like, oh my God, he's singing about me. And I think that's sort of the line that represents like the two factions in this country. Maybe faction is a harsh word, but they have to destroy him because he represents everything they hate.